But the Europeans reached a point where they had to take him into account. I mean, it's not just Turk, of course, because Europe was almost unified at that time. We remember now when we say, for example, and when now, let's talk about Vienna. When we say that he launched 13 imperial campaigns, 8 of them in Central Europe, specifically in the regions of Serbia and Austria, 8 of them exhausted most of his efforts. He didn't succeed in conquering Vienna in the end. Suleiman the Magnificent was the most powerful European emperor of his time, Charles V. We mentioned, I think, in the episode before last, that Europe was almost unified at that time because Charles V had the circumstances that made him king of almost all of Europe except for some parts. Yes. Among them, if I were to explain quickly in case anyone didn't catch what we said, we mentioned that Aragon and Castile united to form the Kingdom of Spain. How did they unite? Ferdinand of Aragon married Isabella of Castile, who created Spain, and they had a daughter named Juana, or Juana in Spanish. So, this one she married the crown prince, Philip, who was also the heir to the Habsburg Empire. The Habsburgs were the kings of the Holy Roman Empire, whose seat of power was Austria. When his brothers, including Joanna, married, they had Charles V. Charles V then controlled Spain. Later the Netherlands and all of Central Europe, including Hungary and Austria. He also controlled parts of Italy. Europe was almost a single state, with only parts of Germany and Italy, and of course Britain, which was far away, consisting of islands in the sea remaining outside its control. This man, Charles V, unified the resources of Europe under his rule, and his treasury was filled with rivers of gold and silver because the Spanish had invaded the Americas, lands rich in gold and silver. The people there were unable to fight or confront this military advance of the Spanish. Therefore, you were in a very dangerous situation, and that's why the Spanish fleet was the strongest fleet in the ocean and the strongest fleet in the Western Mediterranean. This Spanish fleet was able to expand into Morocco and North Africa, reaching Tripoli in 1000.